Welcome back to this year's Halloween Spooktacular. Today I'm going to be talking about a new release or a release that's out in a couple of weeks, and it's from writer and director Chris Stuckman, and that is Shelby Oaks, a movie I've been really looking forward to, and I'll explain why in a minute. A woman's obsessive search for her missing sister leads her into a terrifying mystery at the hands of an unknown evil, and begs the question, who took Riley Brennan? A big reason I've been looking forward to this movie is that it is from Chris Stuckman. Chris Stuckman, if you don't know who he is a YouTuber who reviewed movies. And he really inspired me to start my channel. He's been wanting to make movies for as long as he has probably been alive. He's been making movies since he was a teenager, and now he gets a feature-length movie after writing and directing a couple of shorts and filming a couple shorts. This one is kind of special for him because he needed some more funds to make the movie that he wanted to do. So he started a Kickstarter campaign, and I was one of the ones that donated to his Kickstarter campaign to help him secure the budget he needed to make the movie he made. So I was really looking forward to seeing what Stuckman would do in his feature length debut. And look, I'm not here to suck up to anybody, I'm not here to kiss ass. I'm really just here to give you an honest review, as Chris would in his reviews. He gives honest reviews, and that's what I'm going to do here. Even if my thoughts on movies or opinions on movies change over time, the here and now, in the moment, this is how I feel about the movie, and me giving this a positive review, if I do, and I'm just going to say it flat out right now, I'm not sucking up to him. I'm not kissing his ass. I really just wanted to see what a movie that I helped fund and what Chris Stuckman would bring to the table in a movie like this would look like. And I really enjoyed Shelby Oaks. This is a fantastic debut from Chris Stuckman. I cannot wait to see what he does in the future. He blends so much found footage with this type of docudrama style with a straightforward narrative. And I gotta say, he is attempting to scare you in this movie. There are legitimate scares. There are some jump scares, things that go unexpected that I wasn't expecting at all, loud noises popping up in places I wasn't expecting them. He stages it all very well. He has a very keen eye. He has a very keen sense of where things should be placed on the screen. For instance, I have trained my eyes now with horror movies to look in the background and in the shadows of shots, and I was just surveying the entire movie, the background of the entire movie, just trying to see if I could see something. And there were times where I could, and I don't think the audience behind me could. And I was like, oh, there's something right there, there's something right there. And I was really looking forward to see what he was going to do with that type of thing. And let's talk about the found footage for a minute, because I don't scare easily, but it's that type of thing that actually does kind of rattle me a little bit. I think it's why I find things like the Blair Witch Project, Paranormal Activity, and parts of this movie so terrifying, because they're presented as real things. Like when you watch the Blair Witch Project, it's literally very minimal budget movie, but the backstory for the production, they created this entire false story for the production where it was like kids were going off to make a movie and people actually thought that they were missing. And the characters they're playing have their actual names in the Blair Witch Project. Like people actually thought that that was actually happening, that it was real. And that's what makes found footage so creepy to me, when you're actually going into places like in this movie, an abandoned amusement park or a haunted prison. When you combine those things and put them in found footage, this movie takes found footage and has a team of paranormal investigators going to supposedly haunted places. That just scares me even more, because it's like that could be real. Like it feels real. Like you feel like you're watching haunted footage in real time. That's how you really get to scare me in these movies. Like Paranormal Activity, maybe not the entire movie, but the ending of that movie, yeah, scared the shit out of me. Let's just say I don't think I'm ever going to watch Blair Witch Project or Paranormal Activity ever again, because of the found footage nature of them, making it feel so real and isolated. And if I watch it by myself, I'm going to scare easily. But luckily with Shelby Oaks, I got to witness it with a jam-packed theater with people who were gonna get scared with me. So there was a bit of a sense of calmness there, even though the movie was really taking me for an interesting, entertaining, spooky filled ride. And this found footage element, it actually opens the movie and is pretty prominent throughout the opening, I would say, 20 minutes of the movie. It has an elongated stay, which I wasn't expecting, and I actually really liked it because it gave the movie its spookiness, its eeriness. It made me tense up, it made me clench my fists because of all the things I just explained. When it gets into a straightforward narrative, I still really enjoyed the movie, and I was really looking forward to seeing what this entity on screen was and what Stuckman had promised for us. And like I said, he stages everything so well. It's very tension filled. He has a keen eye for the camera. He has a keen eye to detail. I have trained my eyes to look at certain details, and he's so good at it because he knows exactly what should be in a horror movie and what shouldn't be, and what everybody criticizes about a horror movie. And he doesn't follow, to an extent, a lot of the horror movie tropes. Camille Sullivan gives a really good performance in this movie as somebody who is desperate to find her sister. That sense of desperation, that sense of moodiness, that sense of loss, like accepting the fact that her sister has vanished and is gone. She really conveys all that on screen, and an actor like that, who is coming in to make a movie from a first time feature length director, could just be like, who is this guy? Like, who the hell cares? Like, I'll just phone it in. But no, she gives a committed performance. She is here to work. She gives the committed performance you need to actually latch onto her as a character. And there's things going on that happened in her childhood, as her character states later on in the movie. There's enough development there to actually get you to care about her and her sister, and her trying to find her sister and what actually happened to Riley Brennan. So when she's actually investigating things by herself, a lot of this movie she spends by herself, which I really liked. It's a character in isolation in a lot of places that are isolated. When you do that, the tension is ratcheted up because anything could happen in these odd looking places, or you don't have anybody by yourself. Like, there's no Sam or Dean Winchester or the Warrens to make you feel, a little bit easier about what is about to happen. No, this is somebody who didn't necessarily believe in what her sister was doing, but actually starts to believe and actually starts to investigate. And the more she investigates, she's like, there's something strange going on here, and takes it upon herself. And for the whole movie, you don't want anything to happen to her because that emotional core between her and her sister is so strong, and that is really conveyed through the performance. I do think that the ending, I don't necessarily want to say it was abrupt, because if it's abrupt, it just stops, but it doesn't really just stop. It's literally the last 30 seconds to minute of the movie I didn't necessarily vibe with, and I get what Stuckman was going for. It just, for me, it didn't necessarily work. And then there are a couple of instances throughout the movie where the horror movie cliches that it seems like Chris really wanted to avoid in this movie actually do come into play. Like, there's a brief Google research scene, which I could kind of give a pass to, because I think it kind of should be in a movie like this, but it's not like they're researching everything, but still, it's in there, and it's placed on top of something that I thought would have worked better, where the main character is using her own investigative style to track down her sister and not the internet, if you know what I mean. So I could have done without that in a way, but I understand why it's in here. Something more so that bothered me towards the end of the movie is that for the entire movie, the main character is making all the right decisions, and then there's just one decision where I said, don't do that. Please don't do that. You did it. Why are you doing it? And it was the one character moment in the entire movie that I just thought contradicted her other choices. Other than that, this is a fantastic debut that actually kind of shook me to its core. It's unnerving, it is tension filled, and it was a bit scary. There were multiple times in this movie where I audibly moaned, "What the fuck?" in the theater. Like, the person next to me could audibly hear me. And it wasn't just a whisper. There are things like that in this movie, and I give it up for Stuckman for actually scaring me. Maybe I got Stuckmanized with this movie. I think I did. I really enjoyed Shelby Oaks with a full bucket of popcorn. So if you do see Shelby Oaks and you want to go and get Stuckmanized, as Chris Stuckman would always say at the end of his videos, let me know what you think of Shelby Oaks when you do see it and when it is released in the comments below. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I will see you at the movies somewhere.